to play to your strength. Spin has always been our strength. Now that strength has become our weakness. But don't forget, the greatest weakness that we had, we've started winning abroad. They have failed to instill the fear of the devil in the spinner who's boring opposite to them. If you allow someone like Warne to hit a length and you don't step out to him, you're like a dying duck in a thunderstorm. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're just one ball will kick and you're gone. And that's what's happening to most of the Indian players. In our days, people used to say, Warne used to say, that when I tour abroad, New Zealand and all those places, my bad balls go unpunished. They are insipid. They have fear in their minds. But when I come to India, my good balls disappear for sixes.
Thank you, Sheripaji, for speaking to the Sportstar. This is a very important podcast for us because it is on the fact that Indian batsmen have forgotten to play spin, and you are a master at playing the spin. So, to begin with, can I ask you? I would like to ask you, what is the reason that Indians are struggling against spinners?
Look, blaming is the easiest thing in life, but one must have the sense of proportion to see things in the right perspective. Now, when you look at the Indian perspective, times have changed, and change is not necessarily progress. When I say that, in our times, almost every cricketer was playing domestic cricket. Everyone. I mean, ek saal mein, I still remember we would play at least 12, 13 Ranji Trophy matches, right? Tell me one cricketer who has the time to play even 2 or 3 Ranji Trophy matches. No.
Yeah.
Because they're
No.
playing T20s, they're playing 50 over matches, and then they're playing test matches, which are mostly abroad. When they play tests over here, that's the only time that they get accustomed to playing, on Indian pitches. And the rank bugris are something that you think that the weakness of the opposition makes your strength, right? Since times immemorial, India has dominated on bugris, on rank turners. I mean, rough surfaces, abrasive surfaces, ball gripping, holding, and turning. Now, what happens is that when you're playing too much of T20s on flat, placid, flat as pancake pitches where you don't move your feet, you just stand and deliver, or you're playing 50 over cricket where the pitches are obviously very good. Suddenly, from Australia, where you have green tops, hard pitches, you come to India on softer surfaces, which is a test of your skill. It's a litmus test of your skill. It is skill and not strength which governs your ship when you play in India. Now, what is that test? Now, that's number one. When they come here, the feet are not moving. It is an apprehensive kind of a footwork. When I say apprehensive, when you overstretch with your front foot and your front foot goes way ahead from where your head should be. मतलब एक उसको कहते हैं हिंदी में in the cricketing language is called ढेंग डालना.
Yeah.
ढेंग डालना, right? Your head is here. Oh, you put your foot. That tells you the mindset of the batsman that he's not sure. He's just trying to survive. But the control movement is always a very small foot forward. This is what I told
Yeah.
Rahul Dravid when he was struggling as Muralidharan. I said, watch Sachin. Sachin will bring his front foot just 6 inches forward, right? His head is all over the foot. Now, what does that enable you to do? It enables you to use your back foot, front foot again. You can swivel, and you can judge the bounce, spin, everything, and play the ball very late. But if you overstretch, that means somewhere down the line, your seeds of doubt have already been sown in your mind, and you're not in that dominating, framework of mind. That's one. Number two is the footwork. You look at Brajesh Patel, Dilip Vengsakar, all those who dominated, even Sachin Tendulkar, right? Whoever, we murdered Warne because we didn't allow him to land. And when you're jumping out against a spinner, it has to be instinctively at the point of no return. When the bowler is about to deliver, I mean, the hand is here. At that point of time, instinctively, you suddenly step out, right? But if the hand is here and you jump out instinctively ahead of your times, then the bowler will fool you. फिर आप बनने चले हो बुद्ध बुद्धू बना देगा वो. Right. So the timing of the stepping out mechanism has to be tuned here. It comes with hours and hours of practice, right? Nobody is stepping out. Now, when you step out and hit a bowler over the top or drive or whatever you do, the next ball, he's trying to think, okay, let me bowl short. And your mind is also ticking. Now, what is he going to be anticipating, right? So it's a game of cat and mouse. It's a game of chess. In life, as in chess, it is forethought that will win. So you are guessing, he's guessing. It's a game of cat and mouse going. But when you're standing there, now if you'd allowed Shane Warne to just bowl his tappa, he would have eaten you like a sausage for breakfast. It's only when you make the spinner think with a sound technique. They said that attack is the best form of defense. See, when the Aussies came, Wadekar sir is gone now, but he was a master strategist. So he would discuss things with you one on one. So he calls me to his room. He says, "मैंने सचिन से बात किया है. You and Sachin are assigned the task of dismantling Warne because we know that no other bowler is going to dominate us in this series. But there's just one man army, this Warne fellow." I told him, I said, "Sir, अगर वो round the wicket आया ना, so I don't have that sweep shot." He says, "You take a chance. I'll speak to Sachin. Cross batted हो उसको mid wicket में उठाएगा, but just dent his confidence." Right? It's a mental battle. The game is played as much between the hands as it is between the ears. But once you do the damage between the ears, no, the damage is already done. Then you've dismantled him. So, that footwork did the magic. I could guess when he's going to bowl, toss it up, when he's going to bowl the faster delivery. And we broke those norms in which Gavin Robertson, when he was bowling in Chennai, right? Last over tha, उसने सारे चढ़ा लिए. You know, that is a norm. That last over, the man is going to be defending, right? Okay. And he's going to, not take any chances. Last over before lunch. Everybody close to the bat, yeah, whoa, hit him for 3 sixes before lunch. Completed my 50. So you are surprising the spinner continuously. Hi, ये मैं करने वाला हूँ, ये मैं करने वाला हूँ. But you see, when I say how, I mean to say that you are so adept with your footwork. Today's Indian team, all I see is that ding, that huge foot forward, right? And not knowing what to do, right? And these are slow pitches. You see Sunil Gavaskar playing against Pakistan in Bangalore on a ranked turner, scoring that 97. You'll know that that's a masterclass. How to play late. So I would not blame the Indian team, but it is basically more test matches at home, more preparation at home. Players should be playing 3, 4 Ranji Trophy matches. And in those 3, 4, you'll definitely get 1 or 2 where you'll put, rank turners, try to win a match outright, right? And then the subconscious mind gets tuned to the conditions. Whereas now the subconscious mind is tuned to the IPL, it is tuned to the T20s, where ordinary players look extraordinary, right? But Test cricket is a merciless medium, my dear friend. And the second thing is that most foreign countries are now having better spinners, right? If you look at South
You
Africa,
mean
oh,
you mean better than what we have in domestic?
no, no, no. They have a better, they come prepared.
Okay.
Right. In our times, there were always एक spinner hota tha. I mean, look at Warne. There was Bracewell at one time, right? There were not two or three spinners, you know, hunting in packs.
Yeah.
Fast bowlers hunt like wolves. Spinners also hunt like. Now South Africa and New Zealand. What happened against New Zealand? The mindset was not there. The preparation was not there. But वो पुरानी परंपरा, the old tradition to have spinning wickets and beating the other fellow, right? That has changed. In our times, I still remember playing in Mumbai, Mike Catting faces Venkatapati Raju. We had Raju, we had Kumble, we had Chauhan, right? On that turning track. Now, the first ball he faced, Venkatapati hit him on the navel. Boom. On the stump. He went forward, boom. The face that he made, half the team in the dressing room was down. Fucking hell. Oh man, it's turning. It's turning. Oh, oh, oh. I mean, that those ripples in the dressing room are killers. I mean, once you're down mentally, this is called mental disintegration. The Australians call it mental disintegration. Sometimes they, you know, go hammer and tongs after the skipper because they believe that if the skipper goes down, you go down. Right? So therefore, strategically, somewhere down the line, things changed when Virat Kohli started relying on fast bowlers and not spinners to win matches abroad, to win matches in India. Ishant Sharma came in, that Yadav fellow was bowling, Umesh Yadav was bowling, Shami came in, right? So he wanted to change the orthodox way of winning to something, which where he could dominate world cricket. And that's where his greatness lies because he won three Maces for the Indian cricket team and took the Indian cricket team to the top notch level in Test cricket. And that's the real cricket. As I said, whistles will sound like trumpets in one day cricket, T20 cricket, right?
Yeah.
Anna. But
Yeah.
when it comes to Test cricket, the same trumpets become whistles because this is a merciless medium. If you have a weakness, it will be exposed. And that's why, if you want to assess the true ability of a cricketer, look at his Test record. Know that he can adapt. It's like water. Put it in any vessel, it will change its shape according to the vessel. Put any color in it, water looks like the same color. That adaptability to change color with the situation, adaptability is missing now. And you can't blame the cricketers for that because there is too much cricket happening and too much commercial cricket. And for that, I mean, whatever sells is the jackpot. So if you look at an entire year of cricket, there'll be about 25 to 30 T20s, 25. There'll be about 15, 16 one days. How many test matches? At
One, two.
times. So, there was one time when the Indian team went to England. You know the kind of gap that was there when the Indian team went to England to play a test match? Six and a
Yeah.
half months. 6.5 months. Right? So therefore, I personally feel that the roots. Mao Zedong was one of the greatest generals that China ever produced. उसकी माँ ने उसको बोला, his mother once left him to take care of her garden. She said, water the garden very well, son. So when she came back, she asked him, the garden was absolutely gone, dry. So she said, did you water the garden? He said, yes, mom. Where did you put the water? He said, I watered the leaves. She said, you should have watered the root. Because if you water the
Yeah.
root, you'll reach the fruit. There cannot be any
Yeah.
fruit without the root. Test cricket is the root. It's the mother of all battles. It's the
Yeah.
ultimate test of abilities for any cricketer. That has to be
So,
top priority.
so
That's
I'll pick you. We have picked you, Sherry, because remember, from a strokeless wonder, you became a Sixer Sidhu, and you were fearless. So spinners would fear bowling to you because you were prepared to leave the crease, right? So that brand of cricket is gone now. I don't see them leaving the crease. Why?
Because the ball is not turning when it comes to T20. देखिए ना आप, every spinner is trying to save his skin. Rather than bowling with a flighted delivery or turning the ball, he's trying to just hold on to the legs. Maybe bowl faster through the air.
Hmm.
Daniel Vittorio, whoever bowls in the present scenario. They're not trying to get you out. They're trying to stifle you. Dot balls produce pressure and pressure produces wickets. The
Yeah.
whole concept, the whole, visual has changed. But in our days, it was mostly 50 over cricket where there were turning pitches, which was skill oriented, boss. Where
Yeah.
you had to play with the spin. You could have stepped out, you could have, you know, and that is where India dominated. But with the influx of T20 cricket, with the influx of too much one day cricket, Test cricket has taken backseat. With the result, domestic cricket has taken backseat. Now, there are solutions to all this. What are the solutions? Why has India progressed so much in the one day zone, in the T20 cricket? Because you're playing the IPL. It's a reversal of fortunes where we used to go to England to play county cricket for 3 months during the off season, June, July, August, right? And then come back, hone our skills over there. Now it's the opposite. Now the whole world actually is migrating towards India. During the IPL season, there is no other cricket, right? There is a lot of incentive, which is good. I'm very happy that there is a lot of incentive for cricketers. Someone like Rishabh gets 27 crores. Wonderful, right? Nobody's prepared to miss that. समझे?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that reversal of fortunes has happened because the Indian players, 7 Indian players, are rubbing shoulders with one great players world over, great coaches, great bowling coaches, great trainers. So it is these Indian players who benefit. Now, if you want a resurrection at the Ranji Trophy level, when the last 8 teams qualify, invite 4 foreign players or 3 foreign players to play for those 8 teams. Something like the IPL. I know the season will be tough, maybe for 1.5 months, and
Hmm.
see what the result is. You will have stadiums flooded. You will have incentives for players all over the world. People like Kane Williamson, right?
Hmm.
There'll be people who come out of their retirement and want to play. And once you play in good company, and you spend more time on turning tracks and all that, you will learn those skills, and those skills will come back. They haven't gone, they haven't disappeared. It's just that your subconscious mind is tuned to those T20s, 50 over games, and playing abroad, relying on faster bowlers, right?
Yeah.
Therefore,
Shani, you were,
bolo bolo,
sorry, sorry.
go ahead.
What I'm saying is that 98 series, Sachin got Sivaramakrishnan to bowl to him in the nets to prepare for Shane Warne, and you went and just took him on. So, do you think it is better to go back to time where you get to play bowlers in the nets or domestic cricket than having those throwdowns?
Whole huge difference. Throwdowns can happen for fast bowlers. Throwdowns cannot happen with spinners.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Fast bowlers, bouncers, swings also, but throwdowns do not have balls turning. No, throwdowns
No.
don't come on pitches which are ranked turners. I still remember when I had to go to Sri Lanka. Jimmy Power would tell me, "Water the pitch, pani maro, play on that wet wicket." So there will be damp conditions. So once you
Mhm.
played on those damp conditions for 2 months, 1 or 2 months, and then went there, it's a different ball game altogether now, because the subconscious mind was tuned, right? So therefore, I personally feel that you can't have everything. Where will you keep it? You want too much one day cricket and then you want test cricket to prosper? No, it's not possible, right? And in the day and age, nobody has the time Although Test cricket is far more interesting, it's result oriented. People like Sehwag, Michael Slater, Matthew Hayden, Tendulkar, they accelerated right from the word go. You were not getting 200 runs in one day, you were getting 300 for one guy like Sehwag. That gave more time to the bowlers. Test cricket became more result oriented. I find it very interesting, to watch Test cricket because there are results happening. It's on a faster mode. It's but natural because people are playing more and more T20s, more and more 50 over games. So those survival skills, batting for 2.5 hours, scoring just 6 or 7, gone are those days. I still remember मैं और संजय खड़े थे वासु सर के साथ, and somebody had played 2.5 hours and scored 7, and a guy came and praised him and says, "अच्छा खेला, चांगला खेला." He played 2.5 hours, stood for 7 runs. So Vasu sir turns around and says, "मैं मेरे चौकीदार को 250 रुपया दूंगा, वो भी खड़ा रहेगा ना." So things have changed, and the best thing is to actually change with the passage of time. Who could have ever imagined that you'll play with a white ball, with a pink ball, test cricket with a pink ball? Who could have ever imagined that you'll be playing day and night test matches, right? Nobody
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
30 over game, 20 over game, day night matches, like going to a movie and watching a suspense movie, right? So, therefore, time is also a factor. So, it's just that adjustment and seeing things, as I said, in the right perspective rather than being judgmental.
So you spoke about apprehensive footwork among the current Indian batters, how they are not sure when to go forward, when to go back. So the key to that, of course, is picking the length, picking bowlers, spinners' length, and what length you're bowling. I saw this video of you speaking with Shane Warne next to you about how you used to pick up length just from the wrist position of the spinners. There are of course a lot of cues for batters to pick up. So what was your process like, and do you think the inability to pick length before the bowler bowls is a problem with the current Indian batters?
No, no, no. That problem is faced by foreign players. Someone like Kuldeep Yadav when he bowls, no? Then you're watching the wrist. And if you're not watching the wrist, like I still remember Jadeja used to hold the bat on the right side or the left side, depending on the shiny side that Wasim or Wakar would hold. Right? I never used to do it. I said to jitna marzi chupa, idhar kar, udhar kar. But there will be a point where you will take your hand up. And when you take your hand up, you'll have to hold it like this. You can't hold it like this. Right? If you hold it like this, it'll come so slowly that I'll hit you. But if you hold it like this, I'll know which side the shiny ball side is, which side they go. So because you are always watching the hand, right? To know the swing, the angle. If some bowler is bowling from an angle like Courtney Walsh used to bowl right from a wide angle, you know the ball is going to come in or straight. It's not going to go out. But now cutters have come in. So what I'm saying is that those are strategic points. I don't think the Indian team suffers from not watching the hand. No, no. They suffer because of lack of footwork. They're not decisive when they step out.
Mhm.
And they're not stepping out. They're not stepping out because they don't do it at the point of no return.
Mhm.
Right? Because they're playing too much one day cricket on hard bouncy pitches in Australia and all that, almost the whole year they're not playing any domestic cricket. These problems have actually rebounded. Our greatest strength is now a weakness. We've got to work on it.
So a follow up on that, you were speaking about stepping out and how you used to step out right at the point of no return. But your decision to step out, like when you choose when you are going to step out, what was that based on? Like, was it like you obviously will defend a lot of balls, let the bowler bowl into a particular zone, or how was your how did that decision
I
process happen?
always played cat and mouse. I always took calculated risks. Because when a spinner gets intimidated, no, when you instill the fear of the devil in the spinner's mind, those are the seeds of doubt. he will never bowl one length. For example, you see that series against Warne. I step out and hit him for a six, a huge six. The next ball, I'm waiting almost 1 feet behind the crease because I know that instinctively he's going to say, "Oh man, he's stepping out. Let me pull this shot." So he bowls a flipper, which is break shot, and I pull him over mid wicket for four. Right? So you're guessing that that mind game is going on. Right? You've implanted a seed of doubt in his mind. That is a reaction which is going to come from him. Easily, he could have bowled it right up. I would have defended or left it. Right? So I had planned that if he bowls short, it's going. But if he bowls right up again, then I've misjudged. So I'm going to leave it or, but watching his wrist. So these are things that come with the passage of time. But not the hand. The Indians know very well how to read the hand. It's just the footwork.
Mhm.
For me, it's the footwork. That's number one. It's the attitude, staying in the crease, allowing him to pitch at the same length. In our days, people used to say, Warne used to say, that when I tour abroad, New Zealand and all those places, my bad balls go unpunished. They are insipid. They have fear in their minds. But when I come to India, my good balls disappear for sixes. That is what it is, right? Feet of greased
Uh,
lightning. You know, a lot of skipping, a lot of footwork, a lot of you know things which help you with lightning footwork, right? Calf exercises, all that comes to a huge kind of a scientific formula. Cheers, bro.
Also, sir, the preparation for preparing for such big tests, like for example, preparing for one. How did you use domestic cricket for that purpose, or did
Boss,
you
that is
use?
exactly what I'm saying. Where is the time for preparation? How much time do you get for preparation? See the calendar. How many days? I mean, if you're playing 45 one days, you're spending 3 days, one for travel, one to play the match, one to go back. So 45 into 3 is how much?
135? Yeah,
140.
yeah.
140. Right? 140 days only for those one days. Then go on to the other matches. So almost 320 odd days you're playing cricket, boss. Right? And that too playing abroad, IPL. And when you talk about these one days, you're not talking the IPL.
Yeah.
Then there is 2 months of IPL. So my solution to this is that the 8 teams that qualify for the Ranji Trophy, that Ranji Trophy has to be international class. Invite foreign players. Something like the IPL.
A couple of things, Shane. One is a lot of pad play when you were around and in your time, a lot of pad play, and there was no DRS. So, do you think if had DRS been there?
This is one point that I wanted to make initially also, but I somewhere it's escaped. You see, you are absolutely right. Dilip Vengsarkar was a master of pad play. Oh, matlab, in an over, he would pad 5 balls and hit one for four, right? But now with the DRS coming in, with the rules changing, to make the game more interesting, because pad play actually is a negative kind of a connotation, no? Right? But it is tactically correct. But now you can't do it. Supposing an armor comes in and hits your pad and you pad it, you're given out. Things have changed. So you got to adapt to these situations. But one thing has not changed.
Hmm.
One thing has not changed. And that is stepping out to the spinners. From Ian Chappell to Sachin Tendulkar to Brijesh Patel to Navjot Singh Sidhu. Okay?
Yes.
There's only one or two guys who do it in the present Indian team, right? That has not changed. You can hone your skills on that. Right? That stand and deliver thing has come in the IPL, no? Where you pick your mark and all that. But if you allow someone like Warne
Mm.
to hit a length and you don't step out to him, you're like a dying duck in a thunderstorm. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're just one ball will kick
Mm.
and you're gone. And that's what's happening to most of the Indian players. They have failed to instill the fear of the devil in the spinner who's bowling opposite to them. वो जब
Shane,
एक दो शॉट लगते हैं ना अटैकिंग मोड में, अटैक इज द बेस्ट फॉर्म ऑफ डिफेंस. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर John Emery, my comeback against England 91 92.
you finished his career.
He gave me the opportunity, no? So we're playing the rest of the India match. I was batting 19 after having played almost 1 hour and 15 minutes. And then came John Emery. They said, no, 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 last over, right? So last over, he bowled to me, hit him for 4 sixes. आगे
Yeah.
चढ़ा के, hit him for 4 sixes, went on to 50 and came back into the Indian team, scored tons and tons of runs.
Yeah.
So it is basically your mindset. The mindset has changed. The skills have changed. The game has changed. So looking at the game with that change, with the overall scenario, is the right perspective. But if you want to change Ranji Trophy, if you want to actually give a shot in the arm to Ranji Trophy in domestic cricket and Test cricket, invite 3 or 4 foreign players, not necessarily playing proper Test cricket at the moment, but maybe someone who's retired, like Kane Williamson, and there are so many of them, right? Have them play over here. Suppose a Craig McDermott is bowling Ranji Trophy, a Stark is bowling in Ranji Trophy, or Marco Jensen is bowling in Ranji Trophy. Won't the crowds filter in? It will raise the level of the game. The competition will raise the level of the game, and you will get solid cricketers coming in. Why do you have too many problem of plenty, a sweet predicament when it comes to T20s? Because you've got so much talent in the IPL. You're flooded with talent. Suppose you do it with the 8 teams and invite 3 or 4 players. Get the time. Those who cannot come, get another country to revolve. That is the turning point for Indian cricket. Indian cricket has so much, it has resources, it is running so beautifully. It is being run by administrators who are very capable, especially the rise of women's cricket team, right? They're playing more matches. That's why they came up, no? The encouragement, the incentive. Indian cricket is in good hands. Surely they can do this. And, it will be like Indian cricket in the test circuit coming by leaps and bounds. You got to play to your strength. Spin has always been our strength. Now that strength has become our weakness. But don't forget, the greatest weakness that we had, we've started winning abroad,
Yeah.
right? So you take some, you lose some. You can't have everything. Where will you keep it, Vijay bhai?
True. And Sherry, a couple of questions. One, you talked about playing the sweep shot. You said you're not good against the sweep, but I've seen you step out and play the cover drive to an off spinner, cut an off spinner. Are these not, were they not high risk shots?
If you practice for them, hours of hours, I would hit 100 sixes every day from the year 1984 to 87. That's what made
Mm,
me successful. Blindfolded, I could hit a ball.
mm,
Once it pitched, I could hit a ball. Right?
mm,
Now that is the kind of practice that you are required. Now I still remember Tendulkar.
mm,
He was tied down by Sanat Jayasuriya in a test match where I was batting at the non-striker. He tang pakdi, bowled wide outside the leg stump. He got frustrated, tried to pull him, got out because he did not know how to sweep.
mm,
He was sitting in the dressing room. Everybody left. He was still there. Vodeka sir asked me to get him, you know, to step into the bus. So I went up and he says, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. I said, क्या हो गया तेरे को इतना एक आउट ही हुआ है कोई चक्कर नहीं है बोल्ड नेगेटिव डोंट वरी नेक्स्ट डे he'd called 10 spinners left arm spinners Chandigarh. He'd left for the ground at 7 o'clock. He was just sweeping and I'd never seen him sweep, right? There is this incident where He was having his dinner. I was there. Sanjay was there. Probably another guy, Jadeja, was there. And with his fork, he was doing this. Can you imagine? And now that
My
is called
God.
passion. That's called living one idea, breathing one idea, sleeping one idea. That's called commitment. That's called, dedicated to one particular thing. Cricket was his life. And, getting out like that was somewhere down the line a pinch to his self esteem. आदमी घोड़े
Mm.
से गिर के उठ जाता है अपनी नजरों से गिर जाए फिर उसे उठाने वाला कोई नहीं.
Yeah.
Therefore, that hurt, that take pride out of man is like an umbrella without the ribs. That should hurt. India losing at home should hurt. But it's not the goal that you got to come back to where you were. It's finding the means that take you to the goal. If you take care of the means, the goal takes care of itself. And the means are the ones that I've talked about.
And
That's the
finally from me, tomorrow you're made the batting coach of the Indian team. What will you do? What will you tell them? Overnight तो नहीं होगा, but I know. I mean, we always talk.
if
I mean,
my
they
if
should
my
sit and watch your the way you dominated spinner. So many of innings are there, and also
But
like Mr. Gavaskar's 96.
yeah. Look, if my auntie were a man, she would have been my uncle. There are no ifs and ands. If ifs and ands were pots and pans, there would have been no tinkers. But I'm a well wisher of Indian cricket. And it pains me that, an area where we dominated for almost, you know, 5, 6 decades,
Yeah,
to see that slipping from your hands, it actually cries for solutions. It actually cries for the means that can actually be part of the solution. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. But finding solutions will take some time. And, going back to the basics, and, domestic cricket is the solution. More domestic cricket, more matches on these ranked earners, right? And rediscovering the skills, the art of playing spin bowling. And at that time, you only had that in your repertoire. Oh, Tigers at home, Pussycats abroad. That's the tag that I still remember that Indians had for 50, 60 years. And I still remember Madhipaji bowling for one over, and then Bishan Singh Bedi bowling in the second over, third over, Chandrasekhar, and all those guys bowling, and bowlers rolling the ball on the ground so that, you know,
yeah,
it would get roughed up and for the spinner to bowl. So we've
yeah.
come a long way. Positive anything is better than negative nothing. I think it's just about introspecting. जो समय चिंता में गया कूड़ेदान में गया, जो समय चिंतन में गया वो पुण्य की तिजोरी में गया. I think a lot of introspection is required to be part of the solution.
Before we let you go, can you tell our young colleagues how much of your 4 a.m. meditation and Swami Vivekananda prepare you for all those big battles against the spinners on turning tracks?
These days cricket is in the fast lane. It's called the Ferrari lane. In our days we had time, but from a strokeless wonder to a six hitter, more than that, from a man who was silent, introvertish, a man who would avoid interviews, someone who had doubts all over a galore, right? Who relied only on practice. Mental fortitude came with Swami Vivekananda, right? From someone who was introvertish became outlandish. Someone who would take chutti from school for 3 or 4 days if he was asked to participate in a debate is now a orator who does motivational speeches, political speeches, and all that. It's just a mindset. Once नजरें बदली नजारे बदले, और सृष्टि को बदलना है तो दृष्टि को बदलना होगा. नजरिए का बदलाव सारी दुनिया का बदलाव है.
Correct. And now you don't let others speak.
Did I not allow you to speak? मारा नेले पे देला, नेले पे देला.
Anyway, thank you, Sherry. You've been accommodating and This is for Sportstar and the Hindu. Sportstar, especially, you know very well. I mean, it's been
I have experienced it. Your cover photograph on Sports Star was like a gold medal in those days. You
yes,
knew that this was a gold medal for you, right?
yes.
So for me, it is a big honor to actually, walk down memory lane. Sports Star, Vijay Lokapalli. You are an institution.
Thank
Your
you.
work will live forever. God bless Vijay Bhai. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share a few things that will help Indian cricket as a well wisher. But let's not be critical. Let's not be judgmental. फिर ना कहना शेर नहीं सुनाया सिद्धू ने. परखना मत. परखना मत. परखने से कोई अपना नहीं रहता. किसी भी आईने में देर तक चेहरा नहीं रहता. बड़े लोगों से मिलने में जरा फासला रखना. दरिया जहां समंदर में मिला दरिया नहीं रहता.
Wow, wow, wow.
It's a good note to end. Okay.
Someday, good note. And someday I'm going to churao your diary.
There is no diary. No, those are thoughts that come in the meditation that I pen down. There
Yes,
are no diaries. a
correct.
cheap, a cheap but a top rate computer is the one between the ears. I have a good computer between the ears.
Thank you, Sherry. And before I should also tell the viewers and my young people that how you got me into this meditation thing at 4 a.m. in the morning, and also the Swami Vivekananda volumes you gifted me. They're still
Oh
with
no
me.
no 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 no. That for them. I can assure you of one thing: that when you have a calm mind, you see things with clarity. For example, a lake. A lake. You throw a small pebble in it, there'll be a ripple. Bigger one, a stone, there'll be a bigger ripple. Throw a boulder in it. Oh, the
Mm.
mud will rise up and you can't see anything. Allow that to settle. Once the dirt settles, you can see the Purnima moon on the bottom. The same goes for your mind. It's very restless. But when you have a calm effect with the breathing techniques, deep breathe, right? Conscious breathing, it's called. You know, Djokovic does it. So many tennis players do it. Cricketers do it. People who dominate sport do it because man jeete jag jeete. Your mind is your greatest enemy. It can be your greatest friend. Those who've controlled their mind, the fear of failure, right? Because fear of failure is the greatest deterrent to success. Who've conquered their fears with a calm mind. Those who live in the present moment don't live in their imagination or memory. Memory is when you're looking at the past. Imagination is when you're creating Frankenstein monsters thinking about tomorrow. To them, I say, आगे भी जाने ना तू पीछे भी जाने ना तू जो भी है बस यही एक पल है पल को थाम शहंशाह हो जाएगा between yesterday's regret and tomorrow's hope is today's opportunity. Take it, bro.
Thank you, Shri. I can't believe the change you have undergone from the time I saw you first and today. I mean, you're such a very popular figure. You're doing so many shows. Laughter bhi hai, politics bhi hai, cricket bhi hai, commentary hai, writing hai. Amazing, amazing.
I change adage. The adage was jack of all trades and master of none. I say master of all trades and jack of none, all in one.
Well done, well done.
Cheers. Bye.